collector to prepare and mail estimated tax bills. And that's because the state really hasn't done anything yet with their budget, so we can't, we have to send out the temporary bills. Once everybody gets approved, then we'll send out regular bills.
And
Yes.
people will not be charged the late fee, right? To be late on the taxes.
No, you're just gonna have them out in time it's just gonna be the estimated bill,
And so,
because, everybody else hasn't adopted their budget yet.
okay, so it's estimated.
Right.
I need a motion for resolution for temporary tax bill.
So motion for resolution for temporary tax bill?
Roll call.
Councilman Blas?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hedgepath?
Yes.
Councilwoman White?
Yes.
Councilman Lorenzo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garcia Montez?
Yeah.
Housing officer.
Everybody,
Can't hear you.
I would like everybody to be fully familiar with this. It's a rather detailed ordinance. There may be questions from the governing body, and I'd like to be able to answer them. But there are certain things that have to be added, such as the fines, which I did not address. And it's gotta be, it can't be adopted immediately, it's gotta be adopted at least 90 days later, because it's gonna create problems if the tenants are in violation of the ordinance and they have to be evicted, because the courts give the tenants appreciable time to get out, and the landlord has to pay 6 months' rent if the ordinance is being violated. I didn't address that issue. So I would ask that this be held up, and hopefully next time around, I will add in those things that was this second one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions at this point?
I got a question. Do we notify the landlords that are in question at this point?
Yes.
About the situation that's gonna happen at some point?
Mm-hmm.
So they are.
And that's something you might want to think about. Yeah. Another question that comes up. This ordinance as written, I think it has to be written, is that this affects owners as well as tenants. In other words, if an owner has an apartment, the housing code is that part of our ordinances that talks about square feet and how many people are allowed within the square feet. And I believe there has to be 100 square feet for every bedroom, for every person. I'm not talking from a little bit. At present it stands.
But some of the houses in this town doesn't really have a 10 by 10 rooms. And some of the rooms aren't even smaller than that. Then how are you gonna have 100 square feet on it when you don't even have 100 feet on the room itself?
Well, as I say, that's a consideration. That's why you need your input.
We have to look at
I
the
think it's
homeowner's words.
No,
As this is written,
Right.
they're not exempt.
no, as the state statute is written, it's become not exempt. Now, whether we choose as policy to enforce it is another question.
So can that not be applied just for landlord? It had to be applied for everyone?
No, we could change the ordinance, right?
I don't know if we can,
No.
I don't know if that would be constitutional, because you have two different standards.
Right.
Well, we don't have an ordinance now on this, do we?
Yeah, there's
We
a
do
rule.
have one,
In the
but-
housing, well, here, I'll read it. And
And Debbie, you were saying in your papers that you had given, that, you found mistakes on Dover's part with some people, living in Victory Gardens, some
Right.
living in Wharton. Well, are they gonna give us the money back for that, Dover?
I doubt, well, they should, because there was some on there that the kids were, the address they gave was Wharton. There was two
Mhm.
that had addresses in Wharton, and then there was one, well, when they gave us the list of the special needs children, they told us there was 50 of them.
But they didn't give
But
that.
when I looked at the list that they gave us, 17 of them didn't have any address at all. So I'm waiting for them to get back to me and let me know where these kids are.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the other ones that don't belong to Victory Gardens.
Right.
We should not be
So
paying
they-
for it.
Right.
they owe us
If
the
we've
money.
been charged for the past couple of years, then they should pay us,
Right.
Exactly.
refund the money.
Sue 'em.
So I sent a letter to the county superintendent of schools. I also sent one to the State Department of Education and one to the governor. I haven't heard back from anybody yet. And if I don't, then I'll call them.
We have to keep the pressure on them to find out
Yeah,
where these
yeah.
kids are. They
Yeah.
are costing us tons of money, but, and they don't even live over here, so.
Right.
If it does happen.
And she said that her and her family lived in this house on Coolidge. There was only 2 children there, but according to the list in Dover, there were 3. And she said, oh, I think she said it was her nephew.
Yeah, I saw the paper.
And, I'm like, well, did you tell the school? And she said, no. So I told her, you need to give me a letter telling me where he is, because he was a 10th grader. Where he is, who's got him, who he's with, and then I can notify the school.
Mhm.
We have another one, same thing, on a different street.
I'm reading from from the ordinance book. It's section 11-6.8. And I'll read it as written. No person shall occupy or rent unit or building for the purpose of living which does not comply with the following requirements. Every dwelling unit shall contain at least 150 square feet of floor space for the first. The floor space is to be calculated on the basis of total habitable room area. In every dwelling unit of 2 or more persons, occupied for sleeping purposes by more than one occupant shall contain at least 50 square feet of additional floor space for each additional occupant. No basement or cellar shall have a habitable room. Every owner of a dwelling unit containing is just general language. It's the square footage that's critical.
The 70 square feet per person
Yeah.
in a bedroom?
70 for the first and 50 for the
50 for the
Oh,
second,
okay.
yeah,
Right.
70 and 50.
So that's a 10-by-12 room, basically.
Right.
So that's it. So probably there are people in violation of this right now.
If you allow them to demonstrate that it's actually.
No,
Situation
we're
going on.
going in there for an inspection. We don't know what's there. That's why we're going in.
But we can't just go into someone's home without a reason. If-
No,
There has to
the
be.
housing
And it's a
inspector of the premises. As a matter of fact, in multifamilies, in the garden apartments, there's a statute that says the state inspects it every 5 years. That doesn't exclude us from having our own inspection.
Should they refuse to let you in?
Or refuse to let us in, we can apply for a search.
So then, will you table this?
We're gonna table it, and like the county, like Mr. Fontek said, everybody take a good look at it.
Yeah.
And if they have any other ideas or whatever, come up with it, or give it to them.
We're gonna add some more, you're gonna be adding some more to it, right?
Yeah.
So let's
We are.
wait, see what he's gonna add to it.
No, we are, just in case you come up with something too.
Oh, yeah.
We
Okay.
are. if the housing inspector, you know, comes to your house, can you let him in or not let him in?
I'm pretty sure some people not gonna let me in, so.
Well, we notify the owner,
That's
and the owner's
process
also
of
like
recording.
it. And we'll send a notice to the owner that we want to inspect it, and that's it.
Pressure on finding out where all these children are and who they are and where their addresses are.
Right.
First, to find out, oh my, if they're really from here, that's fine, then we take care of them. But if they from someplace else, if we are, so that have to be done. After we get that information together, then we're going to proceed with the other stuff.
Well, it's not, the way it's being done now, it's not that important.
But-
Because they count the number of students in, I guess, at the beginning of the school budget, predicated upon the allegation that 9% of the way to do it. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it. And the superintendent of schools would know that.
So we pay the 9%, but we also pay for the bus.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel it's more,
64, 61 or something like that.
that many children, but I really don't.
No, nobody does.
I mean, it's gonna be,
When they're opening a pool function.
So we'll hold
And when
on.
someone says that we can reopen, it will be closed.
All in favor?
Aye.
You said about keeping school, you're talking about when you account for the children, and the final count is as of October, you take it with you. You could have like people come down like we did for bus pass, on Dover's rolls for the ASSA count, and then turn them over to Victory Gardens after the ASSA count. I'll tell you something about an address, and, people that, can we make them pay?
and yes, they have to register with us first, and we.
Anybody else on that?
No, go ahead. You can go first.
About outward dining.
Contacted them also, but they're kind of not working
I don't have it.
in the building, so we're waiting for them to get back to us.
Because I believe to a lot of alcohol in parking lot, that's why I asked.
But according to Barry, she was gonna talk to them today.
Corner, we're in the back. Alright, in regards to when you were talking about for two people, so if a married couple shared a bedroom, and the room was, say, 11 and actually in the bedroom together,
Well, that's the problem that we have with,
that's what I'm saying, you gotta look at it based on what's here.
that's this,
We're also army barracks.
Right.
The rooms
They're
are
built
not
for
like
it.
regular houses. So we have to find out if there's something about that.
But we never like you said, that's where this thing's gonna change, so.
Let's see, work meetings, when they open back up to the public, can't somebody designate a liaison on this council to go to the school board meetings and represent us and find out information?
We already asked if, someone from the
Be a liaison of this council to go to the represent the board, not to represent, but to go and get information and bring it back to you.
we get minutes from their meetings?
Yes, I think,
Because maybe at one of their board meetings, they were discussing the number of kids going to school, saying, well, we've got this number for Dover, this from, I guess Mine Hill's still sending some, right?
Yeah.
the, high school.
Yeah, because they have to put their budget together. So the school board knows what the governor said based on this whole coronavirus. He's eliminating $336 million from the schools as aid. And I looked up Dover. Dover, where are they gonna find that money? Of course, they're gonna say, well, guess what? Your tuition went up, and we're gonna calculate based on number of students. That's gonna be a major hit. $2.8 million of state aid for their next school year.
Well, that's a recommendation made to the legislature.
Is going to eliminate this, and that was as of May. Either lose it, based on what he's saying. So,
To go to the Dover school, it's different for.
It's different for,
No, it's not figured out that way, it's figured out on against.
somebody was as high as, I think, like
But
15, but somebody else was 12, somebody was 13.
Yes.
Depends on what grade they're in, and I think the kindergarten, the pre.
Anyone else?
Around how much is it per child?
Well, you want,
I don't know, I think.
Well, she has a list, you know, I just wanted.
well, it's not,
Well, Washington,
There you go.
and I'm not sure if some of these things have been covered in the past. Has anybody looked at any type of budget cuts that they can do on things that we do for the community? That we can do when we need, who pays for the firehouse? Everything in the firehouse is Dover. Okay? We don't even have a VG volunteer fire department anymore. So when it comes to heating maintenance, bills, yeah. We're not gonna be able to get through Dover. You can't get through Dover now on a good day. So,
Well, there's somebody at the firehouse at least down there, covered 24
We have our
hours a
trucks
day.
Who responds?
and we have
Dover.
ambulance.
okay, they're gonna go back to Dover responding, which means they would have to go from Dover to come keep that building up and running.
That's part
But
of
it's
what
like,
she,
it's like everything belongs to Dover.
No, everything doesn't.
No, it
The firehouse
The only thing
belongs
that
to
appears
Victory
to belong to
Gardens.
Dover is the
The
building.
substation closest
Well,
here.
we've kind of known that for a long time.
Exactly.
That, you know,
We know
nobody
that
wants a
with the
little
schools.
BG.
Or what are they gonna do for us when we get old? Nothing. You know, it
We're
could be
in
a
hard times
president or
right
whatever.
now, people. I think right now, if you look at it, maybe it might have money. They're announced that our taxes will be going up. Governor Murphy, I don't know if anybody's heard him speak, wants the Federal Reserve to come up with more money. Hey, okay, everybody gets a standard $600. That's a lot of money. So that they were going to take and raise the taxes so that this money would go into the reserve. So
Oh, there's no question
I didn't
about
get the stimulus.
You know,
you
we have
know?
a hard enough time figuring out the problems that we have in Victory Gardens, much less addressing the federal
As long
budget.
as he wants a statewide increase, you're doing it for the schools.
Well-
You know, for the citizens of the state of New Jersey.
Well, you're right, but there are a lot of taxpayers in this state who will resist it. And the legislature gets elected by, it's a political issue.
It is a political issue, but it's not okay. Now, I look at, okay, we just had all the protests, it's fine, we have the president. We haven't seen the ramifications in the health, and if we may go backwards, we don't know that. There's a lot of things that are uncertain at this point. So, you know.
excuse me, miss, that's your time.
Oh, that's it?
5 minutes, yes,
Can
ma'am.
I leave a list of all this stuff for you guys? Because I had a whole list here. And just one more. Do the kids that go through school 6 to 8 need busing and because it's not necessary. But parents can't pay for their rent. We're in big trouble. But if I write all this down and type it up and give it to someone, like fools.
My 36 items have been repeated, so I'm going to be repeating probably a lot of what other people have already said. So, let's see here. And for $250,000, you know, towns across New Jersey have had this issue for years now. A lot of them have had to cut back on the bus. 5 to 28% poverty rate in comparison. Dover has an 11%. All right, so we're over twice as much as poverty. $5,000 less median income. 61 or something there because I have all the rules. I'm sure you guys have read them before about square foot occupancy and all of that. And if they're stacking, unfortunately, it's so busing. You know, it's a convenience to the parents and students, but not mandatory ones. You know, charge somebody with a crime for theft of services, but we also have to discourage it because taxpayers are paying for it. Tax above and beyond what they can possibly afford. You know, busing reduces fitness in children. Gosh, we walk all the time. 46 has the, right. Let me get through because I know I only get 5 minutes. There's still not grounds for providing busing. It's not a legal requirement just because there's hazardous conditions. And I have all the law and stuff like that here. Council member raises, you know, you think $8 per household, you know, I'm still in college. I'm going to pay most people for the rest of my life. If I can get something regarding how that's done, that'd be great. Stacking, certificate of occupancy rules, if we can get some rules regarding the number of children in the unit, per square, and it's you can't have boys and girls in the same room. Oh, just let me finish my list, no. That's gotta say something, to
Pertaining to the bidding, about the windows, representatives, I know it's not good. We have to get the job done. So we're trying to go.
Somebody responsible for that?
The
Is he secure? So does anybody verify that those bids are in fact?
Right, the bids come in sealed.
You know, 'cause
bids come in sealed.
Those specifications, the bids, we determine on their experience and the price, and then we will,
business to put in a bid, and that's about all we get.
Agenda for another meeting, so that time limit of 5 minutes doesn't.
That's open to the public.
Hi, my name is Gina, first 1036 Victory Court. This is just more of a comment. First, based off of what she said, spend that time.
take 5 minutes to let us know. Let everybody know that we're going to extend it.
Okay. Okay. My only other thing, like I said, is more for comment. I would form a responsibility as a resident of New Jersey. However, I do have neighbors who are seniors who we deal with that in-house. That we had gotten a notice about how recycling would be suspended, right? I don't understand why that was even an option if I'm paying that should be paid based off my taxes are being withdrew. So there should, I came in a few minutes late, so I'm not sure what's being done. Although there was some comment, but with the air or whatever, I couldn't hear it, about registering kids by a statement stating that they reside there. As they mentioned, just because someone says, if I say, oh, my nephew comes from Rahway, oh, he can now stay with me, you make motions, amendments, table, voting, extended time, we do all that. So,
You just saw it down at the office.
yeah.
We're not allowed to send notices. We want to send in the management. Will not let us.
But I've also received, when I forgot to get, if I can get that, then something can be given.
Oh, that's when they do the dogs and.
Victory Highlands?
Whoever owns all the apartments. They don't
Yeah,
change,
of
and I don't
the
think it's
impact.
right either.
They
Same
don't
thing
want-
with the apartments. We're only, well, thank you.
So I will
It's
bring it
every
up to
second.
them.
Thank you. What's your name again?
My name is Gina Griffin.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Have a good one.
What's the name of your sorority?
Zeta Phi Beta sorority.
I'd like a motion to close the meeting to the public.
So motion to close our meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
And council for letting them bring the food in for the people of 40 boxes. And it's good stuff, and people should go. All they have to do is call Pastor Hector and
Work.